I built a 24-inch touchscreen using an OrangePi 5, an old Asus monitor, and an infrared touchscreen frame. I then installed Android 12 on an M.2 NVMe, and it's running perfectly with Google Play Store. It runs faster and more reliably compared to running it on a micro SD card. I built a 24-inch tablet as a control panel, and I did not want it to be dedicated to just a Home Assistant dashboard. I wanted it to be a fully functional Android device that anyone can use to search the web, play music or videos, or even play games. A multi-purpose tablet for everyone.
You'll see how fast it reboots. So power off.
It took 24 seconds to boot into Android. Considering I intend to have it running all the time and not be turning it on and off, I'm not so concerned. As long as it's running smooth and not laggy, I'm happy.
Yeah, not so bad.
I used Android, first of all, mainly due to preference. I have an Android phone and I'm just used to it. Secondly, because of the existing app ecosystem. With Android, I have a huge selection of any apps I might need readily available. And Android is just awesome with multitasking, running multiple tasks simultaneously for productivity, games, music, or just browsing. It's definitely a plus. Not to mention the different launchers I can use to customize the interface. That would be appealing to everybody.
We'll start off with this. My old monitor, 24-inch monitor, that's an Asus. I don't have its feet anymore, so I'll put washers in between the bracket and the monitor so it doesn't crush the plastic housing. Hopefully there's no clearance issues or anything. I know I have to turn the bracket the other way around. I think this one's the top portion. So this one would go. Let me just see if there's any clearance issues. Nope, should be good. Okay, I'll just turn the bracket around. Right. I turned it, flipped it. So that should be good. Let's see. Let's test it out. Let's see if the infrared touchscreen frame actually works. I used this monitor mainly because the cables are on the back side rather than at the bottom, so I will be able to keep them on the arm, so nothing hanging at the bottom of the monitor. So I think that's better. So this is the infrared frame. Not an exact fit, but it should work maybe. Okay, there's the double-sided tape. Here's the connect, where the connection goes into. Okay, so this is where the USB cable goes into, and there's the cable the infrared touchscreen frame came with. There's the connector. I have to make sure that we install it the right way, otherwise it's not going to work. Red. See the red dot there? So red goes there. Red wire. Blue. It's actually black. Wait a minute. Okay. Well, let's fire up the OrangePi and see if it works. Here's the monitor. The frame goes on top. It's the OrangePi. So now I have the OrangePi attached to the HDMI. I'll hook up the infrared frame to the OrangePi via USB. Now I can power up the OrangePi. Oops, wrong cable. Okay, now I have the right cable. USB Type-C. Power up the OrangePi. Now we have to see if the infrared touchscreen is working. So far so good. Looks pretty smooth. Looks like it's working. I don't have internet connected to the OrangePi right now. We'll try it out later with the internet. Let's try to shut it down. Power off. Here the infrared frame goes like this. Make sure they're all equal. Spacing from the sides of the monitor. Flip it upside down so we can attach the tape. Sharp scissors. I'm trying to get the tape right on the edge of the glass and the frame. Excess parts I can trim off with easily trim off with a blade later on. I hope there's enough tape. Should be enough. Lastly, if you make a mistake, you can easily buy double-sided tape online. Should be able to remove it with alcohol or any type of solvent. Okay. All right. I'll flip it up the other way. Make sure the plastic film is removed from the backside. Otherwise, I'm going to have to redo everything again. Make sure the backside is clean too. For your streaks, use a good general purpose, well, a glass cleaner, so you minimize streaks when cleaning. Make sure to remove all of the fingerprints, otherwise they're going to stay there for the foreseeable future. And we'll double check the monitor, see if it's thoroughly clean. Don't want to drop the frame. Some fingerprints. And dust. kind of using my fingernails to run through the channel between the monitor itself and the plastic trim. Moment of truth. Alright, that's that. I removed the outer film. If we want it to be more aesthetically appealing, we can probably put in like a, I don't know, a wooden frame for pictures and stuff like that. Makes it more homey, I guess, rather than this high-tech plastic. I guess I need to tighten it. So there's a positive and a negative here. I'm guessing you're increasing the weight capacity if you're going to the plus side. We'll find out. Now it should be good. Raise it up. No issues. Lower it. No issues. A bit more. No issue. Raise it up again. Have it face the kitchen. Kitchen. Or have it face the dining room. Yeah. Should be good.
To install Android 12, I will need a few things from the OrangePi.org website. We need to download the Android image, the Android writing tool, and the driver assistant. Go to the OrangePi.org website. Go to Downloads. Select your hardware. In my case, it's OrangePi 5. Then select Android image. Now here, there are three options available depending on what you want to use as a boot device. I'm installing it on an M.2 NVMe, so I'll select this. Under SPI Flash NVMe, select the one in the middle, unless you are installing an LCD screen, in which case you need to select the LCD one. At the bottom, it'll say preparing to zip. As soon as it's done, it will download the image. To download the writing tool and the driver assistant, go back to Downloads, then select Official Tools. Click on the folder Android and Linux Image Writing Tool. Download the RKDev tool and the driver assistant zip files. Extract the zip files and install the driver assistant. Once driver assistant is installed, run the RKDev tool. By default, the RKDev tool language is in Chinese. If you can't read Chinese, it might be better to select English. To do this, open the config file and change the selected language from 1, which is Chinese, to 2, which is English. Hit save and then rerun the RKDev tool. The tool is now running in English. Select Upgrade Firmware, then the Firmware button, so we can select the Android image we just downloaded. Connect the OrangePi 5 to your PC via the Type-C USB at the middle of the OrangePi. At this point, your M.2 NVMe drive should already be installed and ready to receive the Android image. While pressing on the mask run button, Power up the OrangePi. The Arcade Dev tool should then be able to detect the OrangePi. Click Upgrade to start the installation. The Arcade Dev tool should now be installing the Android image directly to the NVMe drive. On the right sidebar on the Arcade Dev tool, you should be able to see the process currently being run. While flashing, the tool would be cycling a couple times between no device found and found one mask ROM device. Let it do its thing. It will take a couple minutes and it will finally say download firmware successful. Once it completes downloading the firmware, the OrangePi should reboot, this time into Android. And the Arcade Dev tool will again be showing no device found. You should now be able to set up your Android device running on OrangePi 5 off the M.2 NVMe drive. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.